everyone. My name is Julio. I'm from Barra West Ride. I'm a black belt 3rd degree under Professor Marcelo Rezende. And I've been in Australia for about 18 years. I'm from a small town in Rio de Janeiro called Volta Redonda. It's a small place. It's around 300,000 people in the city, where pretty much everyone knows everyone. And there's no beach, so it's about 2 hours away from Rio, capital city. My first experience with martial arts, I was pretty young. I was about 8 or 9, was with judo. Wasn't for long, about like a year. And after that I broke my collarbone, and took a little while to heal it, and I never came back. So it took me a long time to start practicing martial arts again. I'm talking about 2009 when I started uni. So there was this guy in the physical education department in the campus that was a judo black belt and a jiu-jitsu purple belt. So he got a bunch of us start training, and he did a mix of everything. It was a lot of judo and half. So half of the class would be just like straight judo, and then we're going to the floor and work with some jiu-jitsu. But I'll tell everyone that was just judo, because there was this kind of rivalry that the gyms around the city didn't want another gym coming up. So he told us, if anyone asks, we just train judo because no one would have problem with that. So we had a group of small group, 5 to 6 guys, and as uni started picking up, exams and everything, people were like dropping off, and it was me and some other guy. The class had to end because it wasn't financially available anymore. So that was me with my gi that I just bought for this class and nothing to do. I kind of I wanted to try BJJ for a while before, but there was this bad reputation, like people in my city, the bunch of guys who train, they would just like get into fights and just being troublemakers. I didn't want to be associated with that. But at the gym that I used to go and work out, lift weights, they had a mat as well. So with the mats over there, and I knew the people around, I felt more comfortable to have a go because I had the gear already. That's 2009 still. Towards the end of 2009, 99. And yeah, that's where I started. Back on the same gym where I started training, I would say I trained there for around 5 years. So we had a professor coming over from Rio to teach us about a couple of times a week, and the other days a purple belt and a brown belt would run the class. This guy was affiliated with Nova União. His name is Luis Amigo. So that was about 5 years when I kept training, competing a lot, as much as I could. Funny that the first month I was training, they had a tournament, an in-house tournament. They would invite another gym from the city to come over and bring some students, and we have like a small tournament between us. And a few months later, we do the same thing at their gym. And I heard everyone talking about a tournament, and I went over and asked the coach if I could do it, and he asked me if I wasn't sure about it because I was just training for 1 month. But I came from a background where I used to compete a lot. I played basketball for years and years, and if you don't know, basketball is very physical, and I did for quite some time. So competition wasn't an issue for me. I'm alright with winning or losing, so I thought with myself, why not? So it was like a month into my training, and it was funny that It was a terrible fight. I ended up in the guy's close guard. No, sorry, he took me down. He ended up in my close guard, and he was quite strong. I didn't know what to do. And he choked me from inside my guard with a technique that people call in Brazil a maçapão, which is just using the collar and the knuckles against the neck from the guard. And I was funny that I didn't know what to do. I looked to my coach, and he was like, "If you can get out, just tap." And then I did. So I remember it was funny that first experience, probably everyone felt that way. But after the fight was over, I went to drink some water, and I couldn't hold the glass because my arm was shaking. It was shaking for like 10 minutes. It was funny that the water was spinning around, and then I realized that some people watched, so I dropped the glass. And so that was how it started. And after that, the guys that I started training with, we used to just look around the area. Whenever there was a tournament going on, we'd drive and try the effort to compete as much as we could. It wasn't a lot of tournaments every time, unless you were willing to travel around the state, and we did that. Took me a year and 1 month, to be honest. 1 month, yes, to get my blue belt since I started training. So I compete a lot in my blue belt back then, and together with uni, and then you start doing internship with gymnastics for kids. I did that for a while as well. But you train as much as you can, whenever you can. I always put the effort to never stop training, because I would see people coming, going. They will get busy at work. The guys that when I start training, they were already blue belts, and we just smash me. I have no chance, and I just saw them getting too busy with life. And whenever they're coming back to train, I'll do better with them, to a point where was no challenge anymore. And I knew if I would stop training the way I was, I would end up just like them. So I didn't want that to happen. So I always did the effort to at least train twice a week, and to a point where the gym kind of lost a lot of students, and that professor that used to come from Rio to teach us couldn't do anymore. First of all, because he was about to have his second or third kid, I'm not sure, and the money as well wasn't enough, so he had to stop coming. We tried for a while to stick with the team, with Nova União, which one of the guys, the highest guy, the brown belt, and I remember he graduated someone black belt right before he left, so he could carry on. But it didn't happen, so there wasn't money there back then. Like whoever was teaching was just for the love. So we decided to bring someone from Rio and live. Actually, he lived in Volta Redonda for a while. Gero, his name is Jefferson Nascimento, if I'm not wrong. So Gero came over from back then Brasa, which eventually became Checkmate. So he was a brown belt back then. One of the guys who trained first, André, he was a brown belt, if I remember right. He was like very well financially, so he took him in. He took Gero in. Gero lived with him for a while until we picked up the number of students, and Gero could earn a little more money and afford to live on his own. That happened for maybe like a year. Yep. So he was living with André. But about 6 to 7 months training under Gero, under Brasa back then. I was just 24 years old, and then I decided to come over to Australia. And I remember like it was today. I arrived here on a Sunday, so I arrived here on the 12th, because we kind of lose 2 days during the trip. So I took a taxi. I used straight to Manly, where I lived for about 5 years. And That was a Sunday. I knew that my English course would only start on a Wednesday. So I was just chilling around on Sunday. Monday, I went to meet my school. I was advised to go there first, introduce myself, know how to get there by bus and things like that, so how to get around. But on the way from Manly to the English school, which was in Brookvale, on Pitchwater Road, I saw Anthony Lang's gym. It's like a shop upstairs, this bike shop in North Manly. And I saw Machado, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. So I saw that, I went to the school, introduced myself, I did what I was supposed to do. On my way back, I'll make sure I'll stop to check it out. So I stopped there. There was middle of afternoon, I would say around 3 to 4 o'clock. So the gym was closed, but I saw the trading hours. So I come back on the same day, the day after, on a Tuesday, about 7 o'clock, because I know there'll be a class at 7:30. I start training under Anthony Lang from that day, and my schedule with school and eventually I found work was a little tight. I could only train twice a week. I was working a lot, but I was making sure Tuesday was always free, and Saturday, if I had to work, it would be afternoon, so I could train in the morning. So for twice a week, at least what I could do. But I'll go to all the comps anyway. I didn't care. I'll make sure I'll do something else like lifting weights or going for a run, things like that, so I could keep my fitness up. But twice a week on that time was all I could do. So yeah, so 2004, that's September, like pretty much 3 days after I arrived. I stayed for Anthony Lang for a year and a bit, and he gave my purple belt. So I got my purple belt under him, and not long after, I had to leave. I had to switch from training under him, which was Machado Jiu-Jitsu, to Gracie Barra under Professor Marcelo, because I'm still a student. And as most of you know, when you're a student, every now and then you gotta get a new visa and change course, things like that. My English course was just finished. It was time to try to find a new visa. So as I was saying, when I had the opportunity to start teaching class with Professor Marcelo, we did that for about a year and a bit, almost 2, if I'm not wrong. And that was back in Manly. So Professor Marcelo used to rent the mats. There was a place that they called Fight Gym. So Professor Marcelo would run the classes there. And Jiu started, becoming more and more popular. It was, picking up a lot. A lot of people came over. The mats started becoming too small for the class. So Professor Marcelo knew he had to expand. So he managed to rent a space in a warehouse in Brookvale. So we moved to Brookvale, and I went with him. I kept doing my Tuesday and Thursday morning. Eventually, Professor Marcelo increased the timetable. So I took another day. I'll do 3 days in the morning. And soon when I got my brown belt, around 2009, end of 2008, yes, end of 2008, the gym was doing well. So a lot of people came in, the class was always packed. Professor Marcelo sat me down and offered me to work for him full time. I stick with Professor Marcelo for even more. I started taking more classes, the gym was growing a lot. Again, got to a point where I decided to run my own school. So if I wanted to do this full time, having my own school, I'm probably gonna have the income that I need to raise a family and things like that. I decided to open the place. My wife always support me. She did everything she could to make sure that I could live for my dream. So today we have around 250 students. Welcome. That's my house. I spend a lot of time here. Every day I'm the one responsible to take my son to school. So I wake up, I get him ready, give him breakfast, and drive him to school. So I'm always there. I know the parents there as well. So it's something that I really enjoy because I get to kiss him goodbye, and then I only pick him up twice a week. The other days my wife does, and afterwards I'll leave him there. Sometimes I go straight to the gym. I have morning class 3 times a week. And on Tuesdays and Thursdays I go straight to the gym, work out. I try to look after myself. So my mornings, it's always either go to the gym and run in class, which I finish about 12, the days I go to the gym. And the other days I just work out, or sometimes I go for a run. So it's something that I always try to do. I try to stay busy, always trying to look after myself. And the team is doing pretty well, so slowly we're increasing the number of classes in our timetable. Of course, we also have to increase the number of coaches, and this is a constant job that we always need to train our own students to become our coaches pretty much. So one of my oldest student, Jeff, he's a brown belt today. So he takes Tuesday and Mondays and Tuesday class. So he's a great competitor, a guy that been with me since he was, if I'm not wrong, 17. He's 25 now. And it's very good to have him, and of course the other coaches always by my side in competitions as well. So it's a good boost to see those young kids, grown up and competing. That's something that sometimes motivates me as well to keep competing, because so when you get older, it's not that easy, especially when you start have your own personal life with family, things like that, and trying to stay in the sport, it's a big challenge. But yeah, so they always give me a hard time on the mats, and so far I'm still keeping up. So I don't know for how long, but it's always good to have someone to push you, and see that you help them to grow and to learn the art. But now they are the ones who help as well on keeping on the same path, and it's something I'm very glad.
So the Gracie Bar, the 3 values is around brotherhood, right? And for me, when I think about brotherhood in the general sense of Jiu-Jitsu, is where we're all sort of together. We're all part of this. We're all part of a community where people belong, right? So it means belonging, it means brotherhood, it means sisterhood as well. My name is Roan. Age is 46 years of age, and I'm originally from South Africa. So I've started initially when I was young, around probably 12, 13 years of age. I played basketball, right? And what happened is, as I went up for the slam dunk, I dropped down and by accident fractured my foot. And my friends helped me up and they said, no, let's carry on with the game. And as I stepped, I actually fractured it even more. And I was actually, before that, I was a really good rugby player. But because of the basketball, broke my ankle, couldn't really run for long distances. So what happened is, sitting at home, really sad about not being able to play rugby or any football, my dad said to me, look, let's go try martial arts. You need to get something done. You need to go out, get active, do some sport. And there was a Taekwondo club close to home. So at probably around the age of 13, 14, I started with ITF Taekwondo, the International Taekwondo Federation. And I've been with them probably for about 7 or 8 years and got my first dan, my black belt in it. I started competing, won local state-based competitions in heavyweight, and then started competing nationally and became national champion. That has led me to become a part of the national team, and we started competing at world championships as well. And I've represented them at 3 world champs. At a stage in South Africa, probably around 95, 96, things became really violent in South Africa. So I started moving away from so-called more traditional martial arts and focused more specifically on reality-based self-defense. And the focus at that stage was rape prevention, rape escape for women, general self-defense for the general population, and also preventing people from getting carjacked. Of course, we had a massive hijacking problem in South Africa, and started focusing on teaching unarmed combat effectively, both for civilians, the policing forums, and for security groups as well. When I immigrated in 2008 to New Zealand, there wasn't really a market for self-defense. So what I did when I got there, decided to do mixed martial arts instead. So I changed completely from traditional martial arts to reality-based self-defense and moving more into mixed martial arts. And I've joined a guy by the name of Rodney King. Rodney King was a South African-based mixed martial artist, and he was representing the Straight Blast gym out of Ireland through Matt Fortin. And he used to be the stand-up coach. And with my background in stand-up and striking and kicking, I decided it's a good opportunity to bring forward a mixed martial arts, but bring in a grappling coach as well. And working with the grappling coach, I really fell in love with groundwork and grappling and takedowns. So that sort of led me when I came into Australia. I then went again back into mixed martial arts, but wanted to focus more on Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and the grappling side of things. And so that sort of got me from stand-up all the way down to groundwork over a period of time. What has led me to change fundamentally from a traditional martial art more into, I would say, reality-based self-defense and mixed martial arts is my work in security. So I've done quite a fair amount of work teaching through unarmed combat. I started getting involved with venue security, or so-called bouncing, as well as close protection or VIP protection. What I found is that in a street environment, working at the doors, when there was a fight, I needed ways to both control people, need to be able to manage myself at different distances, not necessarily always at striking or kicking distance, but at times either clinch range or on the ground as well. And I felt that my traditional martial arts didn't serve me well when it came to close range, where you throw elbows and knees, or even on the ground. And that's sort of opening my mind to explore other martial arts as well. And that's where I started looking wider than just traditional martial arts, but then started looking more at reality-based self-defense, and the names like Rich Dimitri from Senshido, Sammy Franco, and sort of the true guys in the reality-based self-defense is what I started following. And when I started switching over into more mixed martial arts as well, that really helped me in sort of the environments that I was working on, but also in teaching the policing forums and people. Now in South Africa at that stage, we've had a massive influx of crime and violence, and the Joe Blow everyday person that wasn't armed and didn't carry a firearm needed to protect himself. And I thought it was a really good market to get into and help to empower both women, kids and general population through self-defense. I was working for a company, Datacom, and Datacom wanted to set up a software business in the Australia market, and they selected me to help open the software business here, which was a Microsoft side of the business. So in 2015 they relocated me, and I brought it. First I came along by myself, and then eventually brought a family over when I felt this is where we want to stay and want to live going forward. And that was 2015, so it's been a while. Initially, when I came to Melbourne, it was based on the relocation of the work, and I found that I really liked the inner city of Melbourne. I like the different cultures. There's a lot of sporting events. We've got a Formula One, we've got the footy here, and it's a whole mixed pot of different cultures as well. And loving coffee, this is sort of was my space initially. And I think what made me stay is the true connections of the people. The people are generally really friendly. There's a good Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu community as well. It's outside of Gracie Bar. I think the whole community within Melbourne and in and around Melbourne is a really friendly bunch. And because of the activity in the Jiu-Jitsu community, I felt we were always sort of pushing each other to get better at a competition level. But ultimately, I think what kept me here is both the family and my business here with Gracie Bar and running the Gracie Bar studio here. In coming into Melbourne, I first were with Australia Elite Team. So I've been training with them and both competing for them as well. And I came to a stage where I felt that I lacked a fundamental part of the game, sort of a really good comprehensive Jiu-Jitsu. So I started looking online and started to search for good, solid, fundamental curriculums that I can learn. And when I started searching, I thought, well, maybe there's an opportunity for me to even get back into opening a school as well, a pure Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu school. Because at that stage I was focused on mixed martial arts and mainly doing the striking side of it. And looking further into the business side, I then realized that there's a number of business opportunities within Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. And I started reaching out to Marcelo Rezende, my professor, and the GB Oceania director. And since I didn't know him really well, I mean, I was from a different academy, a different affiliation. I was completely foreign to Gracie Bar. I've never trained with them. It took me a while to build a relationship with him, so I've been flying to Sydney quite regularly, probably once a week. So after Friday I would finish work, I'll then jump on a plane, fly there, be there for Friday night sparring, be there the Saturday, the Sunday, come back. And probably after about, I guess top of mind, probably 8-9 months later, he picked up the phone and said, yes, let's do this. So when he said, let's do this, I've always set expectation that I want to own one of the Gracie Bar academies, want to franchise, and I want to take Gracie Bar into the Melbourne market. I felt doing that would be offering Gracie Bar an opportunity to get into the market, but also me as a business owner, the opportunity to bring something to the market that was structured and a good brand name in the Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu community. My days start around 5 in the morning, so I get up fairly early. I go hit the gym, go do my workout, I do a bit of strength training followed by cardio. I'll be home here to wake up the rest of the family, get them ready to go to school, and then I'll start sort of my day job. I am head of CX or customer experience, operations and strategy, so I look after primarily professional services for the organization. That's my sort of day job, and when I finish that at 5 o'clock at night, I'm either sort of organizing people around the gym, the coaches, making sure that they're ready to run a show, or I myself are out to the gym teaching as well. So I generally try and teach 2 to 3 times a week and train myself as well whilst I'm either there teaching or otherwise with another professor that will be on the mat. We are fortunate that I have about 10 coaches that sort of in and out that keep coaching and facilitate and help teach. But ultimately the structure is around the day job and then Gracie Bar most of the night times, and then on Saturday morning as well. The good thing is that I've got a whole family involved. So the wife is working front of house, she's doing the membership, the so-called program directorship.
I'm Roan. I'm originally from South Africa. I am 46 years old and I'm the program director at Gracie Bar Hoppers Crossing. Personally, my husband has started the school and I actually worked in a corporate environment. He said to me, why don't you want to become a program director and do the front of house, which I started to do. Love it, love to meet new people, love to work with the members. I started to do the women's only classes for a while, but it just got too busy for me doing the front of house and the women's classes. So I'll be back on the mat one day again. Currently I'm focusing on the front of house and members. Well, the gym run started at Gracie Barra. Like I said, he was doing it on his own for about 2-3 years. When he asked me, can I please join him? I joined him just before COVID started. Most of the sessions with the COVID we did with Zoom. Luckily, we were able to run right through this COVID time. And when we were able to go back in the gym, love it. Love to see the people and to interact with people and not doing stuff by Zoom. My husband, Professor Roan, of course, he is a professor at the gym, and I've got my 2 boys that's also doing jiu-jitsu. I've got Byron, who is 12 years old, and I've got a 17-year-old Keenan. They're both very much involved in jiu-jitsu. They go to the other jiu-jitsu Gracie Barra schools when we've got like training days there. Great community, everybody's like family. So yeah, a really good school to be part of. Like I said, we're not just jiu-jitsu, doing members on the mat. We're like more like a family, and with my family, and we've got more families that's involved in our school. So yeah, great affair. Well, I would love us to expand, get some classes in during the day, morning classes. Like I said, after COVID, this is just the build up again. So yeah, want to see great and see if we can open up more schools. Be part of Gracie Barra and Gracie Barra Hoppers Crossing. You're going to love it here. We're a great community.
It means a couple of things, and for me it's around the values that I picked up from Gracie Barra. So the Gracie Barra, the 3 values is around brotherhood, right? And for me, when I think about brotherhood and the general sense of Jiu-Jitsu, is where we're all sort of together. We're all part of this. We're all part of a community where people belong, right? So it means belonging, it means brotherhood, it means sisterhood as well. The second one is integrity, of which I'm really sort of a personal value of mine as well, meaning that I follow through. What I say I'll do, I'll always follow through and make sure it happens. And I'm always an honest guy as well, so you can always be true to my word. And the last one is around development, and I'm continuously looking to improve myself, not just in my jiu-jitsu, but also outside of my jiu-jitsu as well. So I think when I think jiu-jitsu, I think Gracie Barra, and I think values, and that's for me. So it binds my family together as well and gives us a central point, both for friends and people around it that I've made through jiu-jitsu, but also for my own family as well. Look, I think it's time to expand. It's time to expand both locally as well as probably interstate as well. So I think that's sort of on the cards for us. Gracie Barra in Melbourne, we've been going, unfortunately due to COVID, we've been pushed back with a couple of years, but slowly but surely I've got my high belts getting ready to start opening schools. So I think that's the next step within Melbourne. We'll start looking at different corners within Melbourne to take Gracie Barra and potentially interstate as well. So we're in discussions around that and what it may look like. Personally, I'm really excited to take it forward and to lead that team of coaches and professors into the next level, and for them to become jiu-jitsu entrepreneurs and live the lifestyle that jiu-jitsu can offer them. Yeah, I think it's about brotherhood. It's about let's keep getting stronger together, let's work together and build a better community. So yes, let's go.